There are days when you keep trying, but deep inside, you no longer know if it's worth it.
Maybe today, God doesn't want to give you immediate answers, but simply hold you right where you are.
Take a deep breath. God is here. Before we pray, allow these words to reach the deepest part of your heart. Sometimes the heaviest weight isn't what's happening around you, but what's happening inside you. You keep moving, but something within you feels stuck. The silence grows louder and the doubts slowly appear. Yet somehow, you are still here, and that means something is still holding you together. And it is with this thought that we begin to pray, as it is written in Isaiah 41:10. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Lord, I come before you in this moment with everything that is inside me, with a tired heart, carrying burdens I can't even fully explain, holding questions that were never answered, and feelings I tried to hide even from myself. But today, I don't want to run anymore. I don't want to pretend that everything is fine when deep inside there is a silent pain growing. I stand before you exactly as I am, without strength, without certainty, without answers, just needing to be held. Because there are days when it feels like everything has stopped, like nothing is moving forward, like no matter how hard I try, nothing changes. And that slowly drains my soul, weakens my heart, and takes away my desire to keep going. But even so, I am still here, because deep down I know that you are my sustainer, even when I don't feel it, even when I don't see it, even when everything seems silent. And today I choose to hold on to your word. I choose to trust even without understanding, because my strength is not in me. My strength is in you. And that is why I have not given up, because you sustain me. Lord, there are moments when I feel lost within myself, as if I am walking without direction, trying to keep everything together on the outside, while inside something no longer keeps up. And that kind of exhaustion is invisible to others, because it is not physical. It is something deeper, something that slowly drains hope, motivation, and even faith. And still I keep going. I keep trying. I keep fighting in silence. But today I admit before you that I no longer have the strength to carry everything on my own. I need you in a real way. I need to know that I am not walking without purpose. I need to rest my soul in you, because there are thoughts that weigh me down, feelings that confuse me, and days that seem too long to endure. And I don't want to carry all of this alone anymore. So I surrender to you what worries me, what holds me back, and what exhausts me. And even without understanding everything, I choose to trust, because deep inside, I know that you are with me. And even if everything seems still, something is being sustained by you. And that is enough for me to keep going, because my strength is in you and not in me. Lord, there are moments when silence feels heavier than any answer. Moments when I pray, when I try to reach you, when I search for meaning, and yet everything seems to echo into a quiet space that doesn't respond, and that begins to affect me deeply, bringing doubts I never wanted to have, thoughts I never wanted to entertain, and a strange feeling of walking without clarity. But even in the middle of that silence, there is something that still keeps me standing, something that refuses to let me give up completely. And I know that comes from you, even when I don't fully recognize it, because if it depended only on me, I might have already stopped. I might have already walked away. But there is a quiet strength holding me together, guiding me forward step by step. And today I acknowledge that before you, I recognize that even in silence, you are present, even without answers. You are working, and even when I cannot see it, you are taking care of me. And that is why I choose to keep trusting, not because everything is clear, but because you are faithful. And in the middle of all of this, you sustain me. Lord, I recognize that there are days when I feel weak, days when the desire to keep going fades, days when I question if it is even worth continuing when everything feels so difficult. And in those moments, I see how limited I am, how I cannot control everything, how I don't have answers for so many things happening within me and around me. And that confronts me. It shows me how much I truly need you, because on my own I get lost in my thoughts. I get overwhelmed by fear, insecurity, and exhaustion. But when I return to you, even without perfect words, even without knowing exactly what to say, I find a place where I can simply be. A place where I don't have to prove anything. A place where I can just rest. And that is what I need now. To rest in you. To stop trying to solve everything with my own strength and trust that you are taking care of every detail, even the ones I don't understand. Because my strength is not in me. My strength is in you. And that is what keeps me going. Lord, there are moments when I look at my own journey and it feels like I am going in circles, trying to move forward, trying to change, trying to become better, yet not seeing any real progress. And that creates a silent weariness inside me, a sense of being stuck that weighs heavier than visible struggles, because it is not just about what is happening around me. It is about what is happening within me. And sometimes I feel trapped in thoughts that don't help me, in memories that still hurt me, in expectations that were never fulfilled. And all of this slowly takes away the lightness I once had. But today I choose to pause before you and admit that I don't want to keep living like this. I don't want to carry this weight on my own anymore. I don't want to rely only on my limited strength, because yours is greater. And even without understanding the path ahead, I choose to trust you, because I know you are working even when I cannot see it, and even when everything feels still, you are sustaining every step I take. And that gives me the strength to continue, because I will not give up. Lord, even in the middle of everything I have been feeling, I begin to realize that your presence has never left me, even in the moments I thought I was alone, even when the silence felt like absence. You were still there, sustaining things I didn't even notice were being held together. And today I start to see that it wasn't my strength that brought me this far. It wasn't my ability that kept me standing. It was your hand. It was your care. It was your quiet love working in every detail of my life. And that changes something deep inside me, because I begin to understand that even on my hardest days, I was never abandoned. Even in my longest nights, you were with me. And now I don't want to keep focusing only on what is missing or what hasn't happened yet. I want to learn to recognize your presence in the middle of the process, in the middle of the waiting, because that is where my faith begins to grow. That is where I learn to rest, because I know that you sustain me in every step I take. And your word declares in Psalm 41, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. Lord, this truth reaches exactly where I need it most right now, because waiting has never been easy, especially when everything feels silent, especially when time passes and nothing changes the way I expected. But today I begin to understand that waiting is not abandonment. Waiting is also part of your care. Waiting is a place where you work within me, shaping my heart, strengthening my faith, and aligning things I still cannot see. And even if I don't see immediate results, I choose to believe that you are hearing every prayer, every thought, every tear that no one else notices, because nothing escapes your attention. And even when it feels like heaven is silent, you are leaning toward me, attentive, present, caring for everything. And that brings peace to my heart, because I am not being ignored, I am not forgotten, I am being guided. And even if it takes time, I know you will move at the right moment. And until then, I will remain, because my strength is in you. Lord, now I begin to feel something shifting within me, not because everything around me has changed, but because something inside me is being transformed. Something that once felt like weight is now becoming surrender. Something that once felt like anxiety is slowly becoming rest. And even though there are still questions and situations without answers, I am no longer reacting the same way. Because your presence is reorganizing what was once chaotic inside me, bringing calm where there was restlessness, bringing clarity where there was confusion. And this shows me that you don't only work in circumstances, you first work in the heart. Because when the heart changes, everything else begins to look different. And I start to understand that I don't need to have all the answers to keep moving forward. I don't need to understand everything to trust you. I only need to remain in you. Because in you I find what I cannot find anywhere else. And in you I can truly rest, knowing that you sustain every part of my life. Lord, in this moment, I begin to release what I have tried to control for so long, because I realize that the more I try to fix everything on my own, the more exhausted I become, the more frustrated I feel, and the more I get lost within my own limitations. And today I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want to carry alone what was never meant for me to carry. I don't want to sustain with my own strength what can only be sustained by yours. So I surrender to you every worry, every fear, and every uncertainty that still tries to occupy space within me. I surrender what I cannot solve, what I cannot change, and even what I still cannot understand. Because I know that in your hands everything finds its place, everything finds direction, and everything finds purpose. And even if I am still in the middle of the process, I choose to trust that you are taking care of every detail, because until now you have sustained me. And that is enough for me to keep going, because I know it is not about me, it is about you. And that is why I will not give up. Lord, as I remain here in your presence, I begin to understand that what I need most right now is not immediate answers, but a heart aligned with yours. A heart that learns to trust even when it does not understand. A heart that does not panic in the silence but finds rest in your presence. Because I have lived enough to know that things do not always happen in the time I expect. But I have also lived enough to recognize that your timing never fails. And even when I don't perceive it, you are arranging paths, aligning details, and preparing things I cannot yet imagine. And this teaches me to slow down within, to not rush, to not get lost in anxiety, because I know I am not alone in this process. And today I choose to trust in your care. I choose to rest in your faithfulness. I choose to remain steady even without seeing everything clearly. Because my strength does not come from what I see. It comes from you, and in you I continue to stand. Lord, as I remain in your presence, something inside me begins to quiet down in a way I cannot fully explain. As if the weight that once felt unbearable is now being softened. Not because it has completely disappeared, but because it is no longer resting on me in the same way, and this shows me that when I choose to come close to you, something real happens within me. Something that reorganizes my thoughts, calms my emotions, and gives me strength to keep going even if my circumstances have not changed yet. And I begin to understand that the peace you give does not depend on what is happening around me. It is born from your presence within me, and that changes everything. Because now I no longer depend on external answers to move forward. I can continue even in uncertainty. I can walk even without seeing the full path, because I know I am not walking alone, and that certainty sustains me, strengthens me, and keeps me standing, because I know that you are with me. Lord, now I begin to understand that what once felt only like pain has also become a place of growth, not an easy growth, not something I would choose to relive, but something that showed me how deeply I need you in every part of my life. Because when everything was under control, I trusted myself more than I should have. But now, in the middle of this process, I am learning to truly depend on you. not just with words, but with my heart. And this changes the way I walk, the way I think, and even the way I face difficult days. Because now I know that I don't need to have all the answers to keep going. I only need to remain in you. And that is enough. Because when I am in you, even if the path is still unclear, I know I am being guided, and that gives me a kind of security that does not come from circumstances, but from your constant presence in my life. And that is why I keep moving forward, not because everything is resolved, but because you sustain me in every step. Lord, in this moment I begin to rise within myself, not because everything around me has already changed, but because something inside me has been strengthened by your presence. Something that once felt weak is now gaining stability. Something that once felt confused is now finding direction. And I realize that true change does not begin on the outside. It begins within, in the way I trust, in the way I surrender, in the way I choose to keep going, even without having all the answers. And this helps me understand that my journey is not only shaped by what happens around me, but by what you are building inside me. And today I choose to stand differently, no longer as someone overwhelmed by fear or exhaustion, but as someone who has decided to trust, to remain, and to continue even when it is not easy. Because now I know that my strength is not in me. My strength is in you, and that gives me the courage to move forward. Lord, I recognize that the journey is not over yet, that there are still challenges ahead, still difficult days and moments when doubt may try to return, but I am no longer the same as before, because something has changed within me, something that allows me to face everything differently, something that keeps me from going back to that place of despair where I once was. And even though the path may still demand strength from me, I now understand that I am not carrying it alone. I no longer have to rely only on my own limited strength, because I have learned to trust you for real. I have learned to surrender what I cannot control. And even when I don't understand everything, I know that you are still in control, and that brings peace to my heart, that gives me security, that keeps me steady, because I know that every step I take is being sustained by you. And even if I still cannot see the end, I choose to keep going, because I know that you are with me every step of the way. Lord, now when I look within myself, I realize that I am no longer carrying the same weight I once did. Not because everything has been resolved, but because I have learned not to carry it alone. I have learned to place in your hands what I used to hold so tightly, and that has brought a sense of lightness to my soul, peace to my thoughts, and a renewed strength to keep moving forward, because I now understand that I do not need to have everything under control to live in peace. I only need to trust that you are taking care of everything, even the things I still cannot see, and that trust begins to fill the spaces that were once occupied by anxiety. It begins to silence the thoughts that once disturbed me, and it teaches me to rest even in the middle of the journey, because now I know that it is not about reaching quickly. It is about remaining steady. It is about continuing to trust. It is about not giving up. And today I declare before you that I choose to keep going, because until now you have sustained me, and I know you will continue to sustain me every step of the way. Lord, in this moment I feel something within me becoming steady in a new way, as if insecurity is giving place to a deeper confidence, one that no longer depends on what I see, but on what I believe. And that completely changes how I move forward, because now I don't need constant reassurance to keep going. I don't need visible signs to stay strong. I simply choose to trust. I choose to remain, and I choose to continue even when the path is not fully clear, because I know that your presence is enough to guide me, and that certainty strengthens me from the inside out. It gives me stability, direction, and peace, and it keeps me from returning to that place of constant doubt where I once was, because now I understand that it is not about having everything resolved. It is about being anchored in you. And when I am in you, even in the middle of challenges, I remain standing. I keep moving forward, and I keep trusting, because you sustain every part of my life. Lord, now I rise with a different posture. Not because everything around me has changed, but because something within me has been restored. Something has been strengthened, and I no longer walk the same way I used to. I am no longer led by fear, nor by exhaustion, nor by doubt. I am sustained by a certainty that comes from your presence within me, and that gives me the courage to face whatever comes. It gives me the strength to continue even when it is hard, and it gives me the peace to not panic in the middle of what I still do not understand, because now I know that my life is not drifting without direction. It is in your hands, and that is enough for me to move forward with confidence, with faith and with hope. Because even if there are still challenges, they no longer have the same power over me, because I know that you are with me, and it is that certainty that keeps me steady, that keeps me moving, and that keeps me from giving up. Because as it is written in Psalm 35, weeping may stay for the night, but rejoicing comes in the morning. Lord, I receive this truth deep within me now, even if there are still tears, even if there are still difficult days. I know that this is not the end of my story, because your word does not fail, and your care never fails. And today, I choose to stand on that truth. I choose to believe that a new season is being prepared. I choose to trust that what feels like pain today will not last forever, because you are working in everything, even in what I cannot yet see. And that fills my heart with hope, with strength, and with peace, allowing me to look ahead with a lighter spirit, knowing that I am not alone, that I have not been forgotten, and that everything I am going through has a purpose greater than I can understand right now. And because of that, I move forward in peace. I continue trusting. I continue believing. Because my strength is in you, because you sustain me, and because I will not give up. For I know that the morning will come. May the peace that comes from God surround your heart right now. May every restless thought be quieted, and may you find rest even in the middle of the process. God is with you today and always.